Hi everyone, Bart from HVN here with part 2 of the Poker Armory's gear review series, and for this one I am reviewing their Sail Dagger. This is the second in a batch of swords that I bought from Poker Armory's about a year ago, maybe a little bit more. The first part was the Messer. If you haven't seen that one yet, check it out. I'll link above somewhere here, if I can figure it out again, to that review as well. And like I said in that review, I bought directly via Facebook communication with the maker, Simon Ozark from Poker Armories. I did not use the web shop, but the experience was quite pleasant. So, onto the dagger itself. I was looking for a parrying dagger with a sail that was a little bit more affordable and easy to get a hold of than a lot of the other. But actually, to be honest, I don't know where people were getting their sail daggers up to then, because I wasn't able to find a lot of them. There was Kveitun, some obscure Spanish makers, which apparently had a very stiff blade and wasn't always able to be used in tournaments and such. So I'm not much of a rapier guy, but I like to dabble, so I wasn't that plugged into the scene that I knew where to get the sail daggers until I saw these available and jumped on them. So let's get some quick stats first, and then we'll go to the pros and cons, and then we'll go to my personal experience with the dagger. It has a 45 centimeter blade length. The overall length is 60 centimeters. Grip length is just over 11 centimeters. The width of the crossguard is 21.5 centimeters. Like I said in my earlier video, I don't have a scale available, but I believe this to be somewhere between 500 and 600 grams. Balance point is just in front of the crossguard, which I believe is to be more or less proper. And the cost of this blade was around about 100 euros when I got it. I think it's 110 euros now. And that immediately brings me to my first pro for this, is that it is ridiculously cheap. I haven't been able to find any other dagger in general, or parrying dagger specifically, that is this affordable. The Kveituns, I think, are almost twice as expensive. They're basically a regular sword in terms of their price, and most of the other daggers I found are more or less that as well, 150, 160, 170, up to 200 euros for a parrying dagger. This one is 100 euros, 110 maybe, and that's the main reason why I got this one, really, to begin with. And yeah, so pro number 2, it's nicely flexible, but not too much. I've been able to compare this dagger with some of the parrying daggers from Kveitun and Regenje. I believe the Kveitun parrying dagger, their sail dagger, while it has an enormously sturdy hilt, their blade is a little bit on the floppy side. It's very flexible. It doesn't really affect use that much. You can still parry with it normally, but it does seem a little bit fragile. The Regenje daggers, their original normal parrying daggers, have an extremely stiff blade. I wouldn't want to be stabbed with that by any means. Their newer versions are very flexible. They're more along the range of the Kveitun dagger blades. And this one, I feel, is a happy medium between those two. It's flexible, so you can use it relatively safely in thrusting, but not overly so. So yeah, this is what I feel is a good, like I said, happy medium of flex between the two extremes that some other makers exhibit. And yeah, so far it hasn't really taken much of a set. It's quite tough, the blade, so no complaints there. The cons. Now, there are some big cons here, and mostly they lie in the hilt. The crossguard, I'm not sure, but I think it's mild steel and not carbon steel because it's quite soft. It bends very easily. I took this dagger to an event and threw it in the bag with a couple of other swords, and when I took it out, it apparently snagged on something, and that actually bent the crossguard out of shape, and I was able to bend it back by hand, which to me seems too soft, really. It's not been a problem so far, but it will probably affect the longevity of this dagger. So yeah, I wasn't super happy with that. And you can also see that the sail has a little bit, yeah, it's quite thin, so it takes dings on the edges quite easily, and that also sometimes causes burrs and sharp edges, which again haven't been an issue so far, but might affect longevity long term. So the hilt could be a little bit sturdier in my opinion. Just if you want to use mild steel, maybe make the crossguard a little bit thicker to prevent it from bending as easily. I know that rapier and dagger isn't the most like hard-hitting fencing you can find, but still, like a good solid hit here will probably bend the crossguard, even with a rapier. So those are just the general pros and cons. And now for my personal experience. So first off, like I said, I am far from being an actual, like, real rapierist. I dabble here and there, I read a book now and then, I take a workshop, but I don't actually, like, train on a weekly basis. I just do it for fun and do a tournament every once in a while. I have used this dagger in conjunction with a couple of my rapiers for about a year now. I have used this dagger in Swordfish 2019, and so far I've been very happy with it. It's well, yeah, like I said, I'm not an expert, but it daggers the way it's supposed to dagger. It keeps my hand safe. The blade it's nicely flexible. It parries well. Yeah, there's not really that much more to say about the handling. It's not overly heavy, but it's not super light like you see in some other parrying daggers that are actually just an épée blade shortened down. Yeah, this is a real, like, proper parrying dagger for €100, and I don't think you'll be able to find that anywhere else. Which is a great thing. More people doing rapier and dagger, more better, is how I see it, really. And this is a perfectly serviceable dagger for a very good price. Oh yeah, last thing. This has a ring on the back. I've been told that some people don't like that. It's a very easy thing to just ask the guys at Poker Armory, I do not want the ring on the back, and they'll just leave it off. They're very receptive to customization, and usually it doesn't cost any extra. So this was also like I believe this was also a free customization, like the decorative holes in the front. You can leave them out. I like them. They don't affect handling or the strength of the sail in any way. But yeah, I've been very happy with this purchase so far. I think, yeah, not much more to say about that. That's the end of the Poker Armory series. If you like these reviews, I'll try to make some more in the future. And thank you for watching.